Hey, we did it!
Hey, we fixed it. Sorry about that. You don't really know what happened, but I know what happened. Anyway,
Disaster.
it was pretty bad. So, once again, we're bringing you Journey to 30. I am one of your two hosts, Michael Ezrich and Matthews, joined today. What happened? But I know what happened. Anyway.
Fire, it's Wolf Martinez.
Yes. And yeah, this is gonna be an episode all about warding today. Wards, and wards on top of wards. But real quick, before we get into that, we're going to talk a little bit about some news coming out to you. We are going to be starting to do Mondays and Wednesdays for these casts. Both Snaggle and I agreed that it wasn't a whole lot of content going out to new players learning to play this game and just continuously doing this. You know, you're playing the game often and a lot, and you're probably gaining like 5 to 6 levels a week. So when you hit 25, after playing this for 3 weeks and watching this cast, it's just you're starting to get into stuff that we're not covering, so it's just taking too long. So we're gonna start going to 2 casts a week, and then when we feel like we're like slowing down on content, we'll go back to 1. But as of right now, Mondays and Wednesdays, we are starting this a little bit earlier than normal because unfortunately I gotta work later. But that's not a huge deal. So that is most of the news. Aside from that, feel free to always email us at battlearena@treatyforcepodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter. Twitter handles are at Asdorition and at Snagglewolf for any information you need concerning anything you want ever in your life.
Actually, my Twitter handle is doc_chicken.
Oh.
I should probably change that.
So his is at doc_chicken.
Doc Chicken.
Yeah, Doc Chicken. Anyway, let's. So that's news for you guys. Quick cover over that. So we're gonna get right into what we talked about last week. And last week we talked about champions and champ rotation, who we think you should play. You want to go ahead and say the people that we thought you should play for this week's champ rotation?
This week we are really liking. We talked a lot about Leona last week, and we still think Leona's awesome this week. Also, Kale, she is great, and Sivir also. Those are, some good starting champions. They're pretty easy to figure out. They've got some good escapes and whatnot. And by all means, or no matter what you do, stay away from Jace.
Yeah, stay away from Jace. He has, technically he has 6 different abilities. Because
600 abilities.
Yeah, each of his ability has an alternate ability depending on what form of your ult you're in. So stay away from him because he will get confusing fast.
Yes, you will.
As of right now, just stay away from him until you get a little bit more familiar with the game and you can practice with him and you won't get severely punished because that's bad. Another one we're recommending you stay away from is Yasuo, simply because his ultimate is very difficult to use. You're going to have a hard time. He's kind of tough. He's fun, but he's tough. So
yes.
Just a word of caution to you when you choose to pick him up and play him. He's tough. All right, yep. and that's really it for that we wanted to talk about. We have a lot of content to go through today, so it's going to be a little bit longer of a cast, but that's always good for you guys. And we're going to break right into it talking about the meta. And this is really important for you to understand early, because this is how it's going to be when you hit 30, probably 25 through the rest of your game until Riot decides to change the meta. The meta is how the game is played. So, Snaggle, what is meta? What is a meta?
Meta is, essentially, it is understood to be the most efficient way of playing the game. Like as Drishan was saying, it's super important to understand. Even though you are probably going to be able to ignore it for most of your journey to 30. Mm-hmm. That being said, the sooner you understand this stuff and the sooner you have it in mind, the better off you're going to be once that starts to come into play.
Yeah, and the reason we're talking to you about the meta, whether or not it is applicable to you right now, is because we're going to talk about vision today, and understanding the meta will help you understand vision so that when you hit 30, because this is all preparation for when you do hit 30, and you start listening to the T-Force proper and you're really understanding what they're talking about, it's for that. It's so that when you get to that segment of gameplay, you're understanding exactly what we mean when we talk about a solo top laner or the jungler and why you should ward as those people, quote unquote. That's kind of why we're going into the meta, whether or not you should concern yourself with it right now. So, and why it's important to know is this is what you're going to be doing for as soon as you hit 30 from the rest of your League of Legends career is the meta. And the meta may shift. in different ways, but all in all, there is a most efficient way to play this game, and whether or not the meta changes, understanding what a meta is will help you better adapt to the game when it does change. So, as of right now, the meta is exactly this. The most efficient way to play the game, quote-unquote, is a solo top laner, a solo mid laner, 2 in the bot lane, and 1 in the jungle. And
yeah, we talked about what the jungle was recently. That's all that space in between the lanes. And yeah, well, I mean, when you're starting out, jungling is kind of a waste of time because 99% of the time there's going to be 2 guys in the top and you're going to have to head there. But once you actually start playing with the meta, the jungle is definitely one of the most important positions in the game.
Mm-hmm. It really is. And junglers can set the pace of the game. They can decide whether or not you want to take dragon. They're usually the shot callers of the game. They'll tell you when we should group, when we should push, when we should back off. So a jungler is a very key component into the overall game. Very often he is the captain, and he's usually the one leading the team to do things. So yeah, that is kind of like the jungler's role. And if you want to be on the opposite team, actually, so when we do this, we can see exactly how wards cover. But
oh, sure.
Yeah. So yeah, that is the meta, and we don't want to go too deep into it because we don't want to confuse you, but we do want to go over it because you kind of need to know for when we're talking about like different segments of the map and why you ward as a specific person. So we're going to jump right into vision, and there are several ways of granting vision. Okay, first off, what's vision?
Vision, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's where you can see on the map. Like we discussed recently, there is a fog of war in this game, and anything can be hiding in there. Most often, it is players on the other team who are waiting to gank you, and that's why vision's important.
Mm-hmm. 2 things to know about vision is that you have a certain range of seeing. You can see a decent amount, but all in all, your teammates, your minions, your wards, you can all see about the same amount. And how far you can see is dependent on when you move and where you go, whether you have abilities that grant you more vision, like Ashe and her Hawk Shot allows her to grant more vision. So there are different ways of granting vision, but one thing in particular you need to know is that brush, unless you're in it or have a ward or use something to grant vision, you could be standing next to the brush, you will never know what's in it unless you stand in it. So there's a few different ways that Fog of War works. Fog of War is always placed on brush no matter whether or not you're in it or not. If you're in it, you are hidden from enemy players outside unless they have vision of the brush. And I'm assuming most of you already understand that, but it is a very key thing to understand that you can't attack anyone that's in there or anything like that. So brush is special when it comes to Fog of War and being able to see.
Yes.
So getting yourself vision, there are multiple ways. There's looking yourself. There's abilities that allow you, like I said, Ashe's Hawk Shot is a very good ability that grants you vision. But most importantly, the most important way to get vision in this game are things called wards. And there's 2 types of wards. There's stealth wards, and then there's sight wards.
Wards are important. Wards are important. See, the thing is, wards are important.
Mm-hmm.
Wards are important.
We can't emphasize this enough. Wards are quintessential to winning games, and the earlier you understand the importance of wards, the faster you will get a grasp on this game, and the meta will just come naturally to you, and you'll be able to play champions that you just didn't even know you could play. And it helps you learn the jungle, it helps you learn rotations, it helps you learn so many different things. Being able to ward, it doesn't just give you vision, it gives you so many different just opportunities to make plays happen. So a ward is a little piece of item that you can place on the ground that gives you temporary vision of that area. I say temporary, but all in all, it is technically temporary. You can first off get the trinket. It's called the Warding Totem. It's a totem that is free, and every single person should buy this. It's free, and it goes in your 4 hotkey slot. You can click it, you can press 4, you can drop it down. That thing's super important. It's a free ward.
Yeah, exactly. And there's 3 trinkets, and when you're beginning this game, don't ignore the other trinkets. Don't even worry about them. Buy the ward trinket all the time. It's going to be your best friend.
Mm-hmm. And it really is. But a quick note to note about wards or the trinket is that it upgrades itself at level 9. So at first it starts as a 60-second ward, and when you hit level 9, it turns into a 120-second ward. That's not to be confused with regular stealth wards that grant vision for 180 seconds, so that's 3 minutes. And pink wards, which are just sight wards, they're vision wards, they give you vision perpetually unless they're killed. But do note that they're not invisible. So all the green wards are invisible unless someone takes vision over them and is allowed to see invisible things. They can kill them. But sight wards, those vision wards that grant you, vision of invisible units, the pink wards, while they have more health, they are also visible to see, no matter what.
Yeah. And this is a thing you should, depending on when you're listening to this, if you come upon this, in a couple months or whatever, just check it really quick, because this is something that Riot actually changed recently. And the pink wards used to be invisible also, and now they're not. So depending on when you listen to this, just check it up real quick, because Riot may have decided to change it, but for now, this is the way things are.
Yeah, and something also they recently changed was a ward cap. Some of you may already realize this, but you have 3 wards that you can place down, 3 green wards that you can place down, and 1 pink ward. And that's really important, because if you place down a 4th ward after you already have 3 wards down, the first ward that you put down will disappear. Now sometimes that's an awful, terrible thing. But sometimes you really need vision of a bush, and you kind of need to do it. So it's kind of a catch-22. Like, sometimes you got to do it, sometimes you can be better off not doing it. So it's another incentive to not waste wards, but it is still something to be like, oh, I can put down 3 wards, might as well buy a couple, like I'm helping the team. So always know that placing wards are always going to be beneficial. That being said, there is a more effective way of placing wards, but before we get into like where wards should go and how you should ward, we should talk about cost of wards, and we should talk about their cost efficiency and why they're so important aside from just granting vision. Like, why as a player, when you back, should you get a ward? Like, why your first thought is I should just get more damage, or I should get more health, or I should be able to tank better. Why do I need to buy a ward? I don't think they're going to gank. That's not the point.
Yeah.
So wards, as of right now, is 75 gold for a green ward, and it is 100 gold for a pink ward. It's 800 gold for a sight stone, and an additional 800 gold for the ruby sight stone. Those grant wards. There's a few other items that give you wards. There's the Spirit of the Elder Golem gives you a ward. Wriggle's Lantern gives you a ward, and I think that might be it.
I believe you are correct.
But those all give you wards. And as a support, most of you are going to be picking up a ruby sightstone. At that point, you no longer need to purchase regular green wards because you have something that generates wards. So that's how you can acquire wards. And a ruby sightstone is very cost efficient for when you're a support because you're placing wards all the time. But that's not to say that you shouldn't be buying wards as any other player, because they're very important.
Yeah, that's the thing. Some people will say, oh, it's the support's job to buy wards, and that may have been a little more true before when there was no cap on wards, but the fact is your support can only place 3 wards. And if you're depending on them for all your warding, they're going to be exhausted trying to keep up with that. It's
impossible.
I'm of the opinion, yeah, exactly. I think everybody should help ward. Your team will do better off if everyone helps ward.
Yeah. There's a few things you should know. If you feel like you are just not very good at warding, or you just don't know how, then do me a favor and do 2 things for me. The first thing is buy a pink ward. And I'm saying a pink ward because they perpetually last. So you can't really screw up because you're always going to have vision in a certain spot. But you need to put it in a place where it's not going to die easily. So pink wards have to be semi-protected because they're vulnerable, but at the same time, you can put them in a spot where you think might get light to medium traffic, chant people going through in and out, which can end up granting you vision over that area. And we're going to point out a couple of those places when we come to it. So if you feel like you just aren't very good at warding, or you just don't want to, at least do me this one favor of buying a pink ward and putting it in. I'm going to give you 4 locations today that are really good. I'll give you 6 really good pink location wards that are just amazing depending on where you are in the game, that you can place down, and they'll usually stay alive for a decent amount of time. That will just give you vision, and it'll just be nice. Like, it'll just be nice. And all you have to do is spend 100 gold, place it there, and leave it. That's all you got to do.
And the thing is, especially with newer players, a lot of the times they'll be like, okay, I got to get back to lane, or I'm going to head down bot, or wherever they're going. They'll right click on where they want to go, and they will either be watching where they're heading, they'll be looking somewhere else on the map. Regardless, they may completely miss those wards. So there's a good chance that those wards are going to be there for a long time. If they're not paying a lot of attention, it more than pays for itself.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely pays for itself. So right now we're going to start loading into a game to show you where some good places are to ward. From here on out, we're going to be playing from the game, and we're going to be talking to you while we show you wards. Now, there is a ward cap, so you're going to see quickly that there's a ward cap, and you're going to see from my point of view, but Snaggle is going to be on the opposite team, and you're going to see exactly what wards give you. So first off, we're going to start in the top lane. As a top laner, why you should ward, for the first and foremost reason you should ward as a top laner is when the meta comes, and this is why we brought in the meta when we talked about it in the first place. When the meta comes, you are typically by yourself always, no matter what, pretty much by yourself.
Yeah, you'll often hear it referred to as an island because you're just parked up there farming and probably left alone most of the game. Most of the lane phase.
Yeah, which means you're by yourself and no one's there to help you. So if you get ganked, say the jungler, the mid laner comes to your lane, and you don't know it happens, it's almost guaranteed going to be a kill because you're not going to have any defense to it. So we're going to talk about that first. And here we go. So I'm playing as Annie because I love her. She's one of my favorite people.
I'm playing as Ziggs because he is the best champion in League of Legends, and I will not have any arguments otherwise.
I bought boots simply because I want to get to places faster.
That's a good idea.
So I bought 2 wards, and I bought my warding totem, which you'll see right there. That gives you vision, and you can read it. It says places a stealth ward that lasts 60 seconds, and at level 9 it is 120 seconds. Regular stealth wards place an invisible ward that reveals the surrounding area for 3 minutes. So 180 seconds. So going up to the top lane, if you start blue side, 2 places that are really good for warding. I didn't pull up a pink ward because I wanted to get boots so I can move around quicker. But this right here is called your river bush. You see Ziggs here. Ah, ha, 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 we're friends. Oh, he attacked me. What a jerk. Anyway, this is the river bush, and this is a really good place for wards, especially if you're on blue side. The reason is that you're never really going to go beyond this area right here. Right here, almost always there's going to be a stalemate. Sometimes it'll push, sometimes it'll go back, but more often than not it's going to chill right here. So you're not in danger of that bush right there, that tri-bush over there. So this is a fantastic place to push a ward. Drop a ward right there, bam, I have coverage. I can see in the bush, I can see anyone coming through the river. Oh, I'm over here. Oh, Ziggs is roaming up, I can back off. He can't get to me. It's easy. Oh, look at that. I'm already at my turret. He can't gank me, he just wasted his time. That's exactly what you want to do as a top laner. And it's very specific. If you're on the red side, if you're on the purple side, you want to show them where you're warding on the purple side.
Yep, this tri-bush right here, that's what it's referred to because it's got these 3 little prongs on it. That is another good spot because you will often get, if someone's coming in to gank you, they're maybe going to want to sneak in behind, get in behind you so that they can push you away from your tower. So if you've got a ward down here, like so, I can see that Annie is sneaking around, so I can easily chase her off or just avoid her.
Oh no! He saw me. He's backed at his bush. So, and that's
you can't get me.
Yeah, that's not to say that you shouldn't ward this bush either, because in the red, some people may try and come up, but it's generally better for you to. And I really on red side, I put a pink in this tri bush because it's gonna last. It's gonna stay there for a really long time. And if you put a pink, you're gonna walk through it and sometimes not notice the pink there. So when we back. And when we get to the bot lane, which we're going to do third, we're going to put a pink in the tri-bush. I'm going to have Snaggle put a pink in the tri-bush, and you're going to see how difficult it is sometimes to see a pink when we just walk past it. But first off, we're going to go over to the mid lane.
The other benefit to that, too, real quick, is the pink will spot out any other wards that are there. So if your opponent has put their own ward in that bush, you'll be able to see it and destroy it.
So, and that's definitely a benefit. So, the mid lane is by far the most dangerous lane. You are in danger of getting ganked from almost 4 different areas perpetually. There's this area, there's that area, those 2 left sides over there, then there's here and here. So, you have to be on your game at all times. Like, no matter what, you got to be careful. You just got to know. So
I play mid as my main, and I love having a ward in both of these bushes. I usually will use my trinket ward, and when I can, I'll buy a green ward. And having both those bushes covered, you're not guaranteed safe, but you feel so much better to know that there's nobody lurking in those bushes to come get you.
Yeah. A really good habit for mid laners in specific to ward is you can put 2 wards there. But, okay, so for me here, the most dangerous place for me to get ganked is where the jungler is going to be most predominantly at in the game. And as of right now, with the 3 camps, two camps in specific, being easiest to kill, I am almost most fearful of over here, over by Baron, because I feel like I get ganked from that area the most while I play on the blue side. So I would normally drop my totem right there, just right there. It gives me knowledge of what's in that bush, and I can see anyone that's coming in. I can sometimes see if someone's even walking up to top lane, or it'll catch the mid laner if he decides to roam to top lane. An alternative place for a ward, a really good location, and this is a really good pink location too, is this bush right here. And this is called a death bush, which we referred to last week. This right here is a death bush.
Yep.
So placing a pink in here is really good because it gives you vision of everywhere right here. Just look at, okay, so a pink is about the same vision as a green. Look how much vision I have right there. With that one ward, I cover 3 different areas. I cover right there, cover right there, cover right there. I even cover over here. You can even see people running to Baron. So that is a fantastic location. And it can also be used over on the bottom side as well. You can use it in this death bush right here. And see that pink? Now that pink, he can kill my ward because he has a pink there. So if he wants to, he can just straight up kill that ward, and that's the power of pink. So now he has vision of that, and I can't see.
Your ward has died.
My ward's dead. This is a really good location for a pink ward as well. In the mid lane, and these are really good jungler locations for wards. There's 2 more areas I want to point out real quick for jungler location wards or mid lane location wards. Depending on which side you spawn, a really good location for a pink ward is this bush that I'm in, right next to Baron. It's a really good spot. Sometimes gets a lot of traffic. Some people, like a mid laner, may be roaming, and he'll just walk right past the bush, just like I just did. He'll just walk right past it and won't even bother going in the bush because he's too focused on going to the top lane. Say he auto-mapped, I'm going to auto-walk there. I'm auto-walking right now. I'm not clicking anywhere, I'm auto-walking. And I walked right past that bush. Didn't go in it, didn't see anything. If there was a ward in there, I was completely caught out. And the top laner and the jungler would have been warned. And the same thing can be used on the blue side if you ward over here. This is a really good location for junglers and laners to place wards. Mid laners specifically to place wards. I'm taking so much damage. Oh my gosh. Right here is a good spot. It gives you so much ground. Ziggs could walk right past it as is on his way to bot lane. He's not going to look in that bush. He's too busy going to the bot lane. Walked right past it. Oh, I just called it out. Hey, look, bot lane. He's coming at you. So,
because quite often if you're roaming bot as a mid, you want to get down there fast to either help counter gank or to help gank. So you're not going to be spending your time, especially early on, checking bushes for wards.
And it's really just like not really their priority. They're busy focusing on getting down to the lane. So I'm going to farm up real quick, get a sight stone because I don't want to have this anymore. I'm almost there. Almost 800. Alright, I'm at 800. So I'm going to go ahead and back. I'm going to grab that sight stone. And actually I should get a little bit more gold so I can get a pink too.
Timbers!
Timbers! Big hog! Go, Timbers.
Go away, go away, go away, go away, go away.
This back animation, though.
Yeah, that Panda Annie skin's real good.
I love it. I love it. Alright, so, gonna pick up my sight stone. Sight stone is ruby crystal into sight stone, and then your pink wards, usually they're inconsumable, and you just grab that too. Bam! Oh, and by now I should sell this, because when you have a sight stone, you don't need your warding trinket, so go ahead and get rid of that and swap over to whatever you want. I usually go sweeping lens, but that's just me. You can choose whatever you want. We're going to go and talk about the bot lane real quick, because bot lane is by far the most mandatory place you need to ward. When you get to when you get to level 30, this is the place that wards always need to be. And there are 2 reasons. One reason being ganking, and the second reason being dragon.
Yeah, and the dragon's a high priority target, and the bot lane is because, like we were talking about, that marksman, that is going to be your late game champion. You want that champion to get as fed as possible to lay down the most hurt possible. So a jungler is most likely going to prioritize hitting that bot lane as much as possible to try and keep your marksman from getting fed. So having vision to see if that jungler is coming is super important.
All right, so I'm going to teach you a couple tricks here. So real quick, we're going to point out good ward locations, and you need to have dragon warded. So we said a pink is right there is really good, and that is a really good location for a pink. A pink from your mid laner or your jungler right here is fantastic because people frequently walk through it and they don't even know that there's a ward because they're too busy roaming. Alternatively, a really good location for a regular ward is right here in front of dragon, just right where I'm standing. And I want to place it because I want to have all 4 of my wards because I'm going to teach you how to ward jump in a second. But right here is a good spot. An alternative really good spot for knowing if, say, that bush is warded right there by a jungler pink or something. A good location for you to put a ward is up here. This is like a central location to being able to see where people are going. This bush is fantastic. It gives you coverage of the buff, and it allows you to see if anyone's roaming down to you. So that's a really good location for a ward as well. It gives you a lot of vision. And lastly, by far one of the best pink locations for a support on the blue side is where I'm standing right now, this tri-bush. Fantastic spot for a pink ward. It's just amazing. Oh, auto attacks OP. That's an amazing spot for a ward. Gives you so much vision. Just fantastic amount of vision. You see so much from there. See a jungler roaming down. You can see someone looking to try and you can sometimes see people walking up towards dragon. So whatever, it's really good. Okay, teaching you how to ward jump. It's really interesting concept of ward jumping. It's where you use the terrain to push the ward. So 2 things can happen when you have a ward. So there's an automatic range when you're using a ward, and if you hold down the sight stone, you can see the range of it. If you go more than halfway over a terrain, you can push the ward past the area toward a location further. And this is important because say you're pushed onto your brush, you know, you're pushed onto your area. I need these minions to... Oh, wow, my turret died. That's impressive. I need these minions to be dead. I'm
so good I don't even have to try.
A really good location for the support down here to ward is to do this. You stand right here, and you toss the ward there, and it gives you... Well, I missed it, but it's supposed to... I can't get close to the turret, or else it'll hit me, but you can toss the ward, and it'll land in the bush. It's really simple. You just put the ward over halfway across the terrain, and it'll push the ward. It's called ward jumping.
Yep. If you want to follow me just up mid real quick, too, I'll show you 2 good spots that I like to use.
The ward jump for? Yeah, there's several really good spots for ward jumping over in the mid lane.
Just right here, you can stick a ward, boom.
Yeah, that's a really good spot.
Also, but, and then the equivalent on the other side. That way, the thing is, you want to put wards in bushes, but there are still abilities that, like, it's safer than face checking. And real quick, face checking is just walking blindly into a bush to see what's there, which is a terrible idea.
Fair.
So you want to use wards when you can, but even when you have the distance that you've got to put down a ward, you can still get hit, and you can still get taken out super fast. So if you're using this ward jumping technique, it keeps you safe, and you don't have to potentially stick yourself in harm's way.
Another really good spot for ward jumping is right here. This bush right there is super easy to hit. You're right here. You just put it right... Bam! Ward jumped. There should not be a ward in there. Annie should not have been able to put a ward in there, but I safely put it there. And now I have coverage of 3 different areas. That entire area is now completely warded, and I can see Snaggle clear as day. So that's a really good spot for ward jumping. And you can do the exact same over here on the blue side, just by walking over to this area. You take a ward, you can just... Bam! Right there, into the bush. And now I have coverage of over there too. So it's really, really good, effective use of wards. And it saves time from having to walk. Alright, 2 more really good locations for pink wards. say everyone's warding up and you're just kind of curious as to where you should put your pink. Wards have to be attacked, and good locations for wards are right underneath things that protect them. So bam, try and hit it. Oh crap, he hit dragon. Well, that sucks. Now he just aggroed dragon. See, it's a really defensive ward. It's difficult for him to hit because he has to target it rather than just auto-attacking it. So now he can hit it, but he's got the Drago added to him. So that's a really good location for a ward as well because it's
when you're
just
early
safe.
levels, that dragon hurts a lot.
Yeah, he does. Where else are... and you can ward jump a lot of different places. You'll start to get used to it. You can
Dragon Pit is a pretty popular ward jumping spot, just so you can see if the enemy's in there without actually going to the Dragon Pit.
And I love using the terrain to help me ward. Like, it's just amazing, and it's really fun when you can actually do it. So
yeah.
So that really covers most of the bases for warding. So a reason why you should ward: it costs 75 gold. All right, 75 gold for a ward. Now, I don't know where Snaggle is right now. I have no idea. He can come out and kill me whenever he wants. Oh crap, there he is. And he can kill me. Look at that. If I didn't know where he was and he killed me, 75 gold could have stopped that. If I had known that he was in that bush, say I had put like a ward right here and caught him out of position before he went to my mid lane and killed somebody, he just got 300 gold. If he kills somebody. Look, I see him right there, so I'm not going to go that way, because I know he's there. See it? I know he's there. I could easily overextend, like I'm doing right now. Get myself caught out. Easy pickings for a Ziggs, right? 1 Q and 1 ult, he could kill me instantly. But since I know that ward's there, I can just easily back off, and I'll be okay.
That becomes even more important once towers start going down. Like, once your outer towers go down, especially if yours are down and the opponents aren't, they're going to be in your jungle looking to pick you off. So having those wards in your jungle to see what's there is super important.
You want a duel? Let's duel. Real
quick.
You're
going down, buddy.
For the sake of the people. Timbers! Yeah!
All right. Let's see how it is. That's the way you want to play, huh? Zig's very angry.
Don't blow flash. Anyway, so that's warding 101. Why you should ward, it'll help save your life. Definitely save your life. Real quick, we're going to teach you how to kill a ward. Also, I'm going to give you my Ruby Sightstone rant. Don't ever buy Ruby Sightstone. Because it's stupid and it's a waste of money. You get 1 extra ward, but it doesn't even matter because you can't place it because you're ward capped. And that's silly. If you're not going to be going back every 4 minutes because of one way or another, you're just either you're dying or... I don't know, for whatever reason you're not going back because you need to heal, then maybe you need to reanalyze your play, because having that extra ward really doesn't matter for how much gold that you're spending. You could easily just, if you want the health, spend 200 gold more and get like a Sightstone or get like a Giant Spell or something.
You know, I never thought about that, but that sounds right to me.
Oh, it's right. I'm never wrong. Alright, and we want to teach him...
As tradition never being wrong is not an official stance of the Trinity Force Podcast Network. Just a disclaimer.
Yeah, that's true. I don't have my ult up. You could probably duel me. Yeah,
I don't trust you. I don't trust you.
Any range OP. Okay, you want to put down a ward for me so we can teach him what trinket is, the warding trinket. Alright, so right now I can see the ward. Now I cannot. Crap, he can see me. I'm standing on it right now, but he can definitely see me. Jerk. This thing right here, this number 4, the sweeping lens, allows you to see invisible units. I can see that ward. I can kill that ward. It's important. I want to kill that ward. I get gold when I kill that ward. 300 to be exact. So that's a lot.
It's win-win. You get gold and you deny vision. And denying vision is almost as important as getting vision.
Let's duel. My ult's up.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Wait, whoa. I don't want to
back here. I don't want to You said you wanted to duel.
I don't want to fight that way.
Can't take it back.
All right. Oh, heal! Heal! Nope. I'm this way. No! Get him, Timbers! Get him, Timbers! Get him! Yeah!
Oh, man. Listen.
Heal. Oh, crap. Timbers. Alright. So that's it for Warding 101. I don't really have anything else to say. Do you have anything else to say about warding on the map?
You know what? I think it's a good policy while you're learning, especially if you can afford it. Don't leave your base without a ward.
Yeah.
If it's going to mean the difference between getting like a big ticket item, like if you're able to get that death cap or buy a ward, get the death cap.
Yeah.
But you should. Wards are. I think we've pretty much driven it home how important they are. Like, leave the shop with a ward. And the other side to that is don't leave it in your inventory. They talk about it a lot on T-Force. A ward sitting in your inventory is a waste of money. It's not doing anything. And, you know, I've had times where, like, I'll die and then say, oh, I had a ward that I didn't use. And you feel real dumb. So buy a ward, use your wards, and it'll make you a happier gamer.
Absolutely. Another policy that I personally have is that no matter where I'm at, unless I'm support and I already have a sightstone, as a rule of thumb, I always, if I have less than 300 gold but more than 75, I will buy a ward, no matter what. Because I can't use it on something else. And that ward will go to something, and it will be beneficial. So at 300 gold, you can't really buy anything. Like 180 gold, you can buy, you know, some regen, but it doesn't really matter. Under 300, you might as well be spending that money on something like a ward if you aren't already ward capped. So that's my personal philosophy. I will not leave base unless if I don't have a ward.
Absolutely. And I just want to point out before we leave this, if that's your plan, despite killing me twice, I have more turrets down than you do. So so there.
I wonder what gold's at right now. You also have more. Let's fight again one more time.
Oh man, I just used my ult.
Oh well.
Where are you?
I'm getting rid of Ruby Sightstone. And
oh, you're buying, are you? You're gonna buy some beneficial items. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna buy something that'll do damage.
You son of a.
I have my ult though, so I won't use Tibbers because that's not fair. Because you don't have your ult.
I don't want you going easy on me. All right.
All right, let's meet a dragon. Let's meet a dragon.
I don't need your charity. All right, just one sec.
Or duel in front of Baron. We could duel in front of Baron.
Could do. That is the most epic spot to duel. 1v1 me a Baron, bro.
Yeah, I'll do it. Oh, I am blowing my mana for no reason.
That's fine.
For you.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
Alright, I'm at Baron. I'm waiting for you. I'm on my way,
I'm
actually.
coming.
Just took minion damage and everything. I got my stun ready.
I got short, stubby legs. It takes me a while to get places.
No bush using either. It's just straight up duel. Bum,
Hey,
bum, bum, bum. You just warded the bush. I'm chilling at Baron. I'm right here. Alright. Alright, 3, 2, 1, fight. Bam! Tibbus! He gone!
I still have more towers down than you. I'm helping my team.
Oh my goodness.
You're being a glory hog, you're being a poor player, and I'm going to report you.
Baron Nashor gets the execution. Alright guys, that's it for that. Thank you for joining us. If you don't have anything else, I don't have anything else, so...
I win.
He wins.
I win. All that matters are the stats, son.
Defeat.
Just in case anybody wonders if I'm deluded enough to believe otherwise, Asterition is...
crap at this game. Anyway, I think that is it for that. Real quick, we'll talk about what we're going to talk about next week. Next week, we're going to do just a brief item talk, just kind of going over some actives, what they do, really good items for core builds, and you know, some special items that are just unique, items that we think you should never buy, that sort of thing. And we're going to talk about game phases. There are multiple different phases in a game, and you need to know them. So, yeah, that's important.
So come back. We got lots more knowledge to learn you.
Yeah. And I think that's it. You got anything else?
Wards?
Yeah, wards, guys.
Wards.
Please, ward. Like, honestly, coming from the bottom part of my heart, I cannot emphasize how important wards are. Like, they really are really important.
Guys, please.
You got a ward.
Wards, please, guys.
Please, ward. And someone's calling me on Skype.
Oh, no. He or she's probably telling you to ward.
I'm not home anymore.
Oh, this is falling apart. This whole thing's falling apart.
Anyway, guys, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time for another Journey to 30. Bye-bye.